to the Faithful Ewe Knitting Podcast. My name's Hazel and I'm coming to you from Wales in the United Kingdom. Sorry about that, that was Stripe the puppy just interfering in the podcast all of a sudden. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here, so I'm back outside in the garden again and I've got some plans to do some spinning. I don't know whether you remember last year, to any of you who've been here for a while, I took a load of stuff from a girl locally. And she gave me lots of wool fabric, lots of wool, linen, yarns. She gave me such a lot of stuff. It was a couple of boxes full of the stuff. And I said to her that she had this, and it's like a thick and thin yarn. There you go, a thick and a thin. And she didn't know what to do with it. And she has this weaving loom that her mum had, that she used to weave on when she was younger. And she wanted to make a table runner out of this yarn. And she was just going to weave with this yarn. And I thought, it's going to be a bit boring, a bit dull. Excuse me. Yeah, it's going to be a bit boring and a bit dull. So I thought, well, maybe I can do something with it. So I said to her, give it to me. I'll take it away. And I'll see what I can do with it. Well, that was nearly 12 months ago. And with all that's been going on with the allergies and with my other channel, and with everything that's been going on around here, getting the dog, and there's just been such a lot going on. I just haven't been in the right headspace to be able to sit down and think, what can I do with that yarn that's really, really nice, that shows my appreciation for all that she gave me, for nothing as well. She never asked for any money, that she can weave into something nice to remember her mum. So I've kept it on the back burner. I haven't forgotten. And I'm sure she thinks I've forgotten by now and that I'm just a con artist and I've taken it away, because I've lost her details to get in touch with her. I know where she lives, but I've lost her details to get in touch with her to let her know I haven't forgotten. So I thought today, while I'm waiting for Stripe to go back to bed, I thought I'd have a go. So I've balled it up into some balls. Now I've got 5 of them. I've balled up 2. I've got this one. And I've got 2 in the cupboard in the kitchen. I've cut one up into strips of thick yarns. And what I thought I would do with that was I thought I would add some coloured fibre and spin another yarn, adding this in as part of the yarn, and then make it into a coil. So one of them I want to leave plain like this and do into a coil. The other one I just want to ply with something else and have it like a thicker coiled yarn. And I might just give her one back and say, just use it as it is, so that it then enhances what the others are. So you've not got so much arty-farty yarn in there. That seems to be my new word lately. Arty-farty. Don't know why. Just arty-farty. It sounds good, doesn't it? Anyhow, that's what I've got to do today. So I've got my Ashford Kiwi wheel out, which is what I do. I leave the jumbo flyer on it. And I tend to do all my art yarns on my Ashford Kiwi. I've got a Bliss wheel. Just a sec. I'm just going to throw it. Oh, he's trying to get in his paddling pool to get a couple of things out that I've put in there. So I'll just leave him. He's entertaining himself for a minute. So yeah, I've got a Bliss, which is a wool maker's wheel. And I've also got a Lendrum wheel, which I've hardly used. And it's a shame, really, because it looks like it's a good wheel. But, you know, I just don't love it. So I don't really think about getting it out. I've also got an Ashford Joy. Now, I don't use that very much either. Don't know why. I think it's because it's kept in a bag. It just seems such a faff getting the bag out, putting it out. It collapses up so it's flat so you can take it with you when you go out travelling. I have taken it to Scotland with me a couple of times. And I just never take it out the bag, to be honest with you. I really need to get a move on and get using that wheel, because I can do art yarns on that wheel as well. I did do a video about all the different wheels I've got, and I'll pop that in the I button up here for you so you can have a look. I've also got one which I rescued from the dump. And I still haven't finished trying to get that working. I repaired it. But the band has snapped, and it's one of those ones with wire in it, and I'm wondering, can I use a stretchy band? So I really need to root that out again and try and get that working. So I might do that this week. I've also got that fleece to root out that the neighbour down the road gave me, and the peg loom to finish. So if I get on with that this week, I'll plonk the camera on and we'll have a look at that in one of the vlogs as well. So what I thought to do was, I thought to show you what I'm going to do with these, and show you me spinning them on the wheel. And then to any of you who do spin or are new to spinning and you've got lots of stash yarns and you don't know what to use them for, you can see that you can pretty much use anything on a spinning wheel and spin it into something else and make it into something. And it doesn't have to sit in your stash, gathering dust, never being used. So I'm going to do 2 of these today. I'm going to do the ply one, and because I've got the yarn for that, which I've spun myself. And I'm going to do the coil, just a straightforward coil, yarn on the wheel, and I get them 2 done today. This one I think I'll keep, and then the other one is going to be done adding fibre to it and spinning that into a new yarn as well. So they're my thoughts for that. So I'm just going to set my wheel up, set myself up with my fibres and what I'm going to do, the cottons and that I'm going to use, and I'll switch the camera back on. So see you in a minute. Right, so I've come around the other side into the porch and I've got a selection of different yarns that I'm thinking I might use. Now, I like this one, you can see it on the camera, but you know, I'm not sure it's right. So I'm not sure I'll use that one, but we'll see. I've got the sparkly, which I think will look really nice in the one which is going to have the fibres added. And then I was thinking for the coil, just for the coils on its own, of using this one, which is a lovely cerise pink colour. So I think I'm going to use that. It's a cotton, but I have used it in the past, so we're going to give this a try. If this doesn't work, I'm going to use this one and see how we get on with it, because it has got a little, I said I put some sparkle in it, and this has got some little bits of sparkle in, so it actually might be quite nice. Tell you what, I'll apply a little bit and we'll see what it looks like, and if it doesn't look right I can always take it off. So we'll do a bit. So what I'll do is I'll turn you down to the wheel, let you have a look and let you see what I'm doing. I have got this, but this is a bit too, so yeah, that's not getting used. So what I've got is, do you know those things that you put on top of your food that way round? I've decided I'm going to pop my wool in it, and then I can pop the wool on the floor. Right, I'll just turn you down, show you what I'm doing, and we'll get stuck in to doing a nice coil spun yarn for this lovely lady. So this is my Ashford wheel. Sorry about the noise in the background, but they've decided to come and make beehives just as I've switched my camera on, so we're just going to have to get on with it. It is only supposed to be a vlog, it's not supposed to be a podcast. So I'm just setting it up. As I say, I've got my jumbo flyer on it, so that's handy. So I'll just set it up, move it in, move you over, and you can see what I'm doing. I've just got the leader on from doing my rugs, so I'm just going to add that in, turn it over, instead of tying it on, and let's see what we end up with, shall we? Oh, I've got no band, just a sec. Right, okay, so I've got my leader, I've got my band, got my yarn. Let's have a go and see what we can do, shall we? So, as I say, I always spin anti-clockwise, don't know why, just do. But you can spin whatever way you want to spin. But I'm just going to do a coil, push them up a bit. And where I do the thin bit, I'm just going to apply it so you can see the thread. Can you see that? Where you can see the thread. You see that? Just like that. And then when it's coils, it's going to be all pushed up. So it looks like that. and then I'm going to let the twist come through. Now it feels a bit tight. Push it up, let the twist come through. You can see the nice variation in the blue here, and then it just adds just a nice little pop of colour between each bump. So I'm just going to carry on, and then I'll come back and show you the finished yarn in a minute. So I'll put just some time lapse for you and you can see what I'm doing. Right, okay, so I've been fiddling about and doing different things with the yarn and I seem to like this. I think this looks really nice. And what I'm doing is I'm swapping how I overwrap it, and that's going to keep these bumps in place, and I think it's doing a nice job. So I've got a few different techniques in there. I'm not going to unravel it now, but what I've been doing is I've been overwrapping some of it, I don't know whether you can see that. And obviously I've been alternating between what's on the top and what's on the bottom. So I thought I'd just show you how I've done that, and then if you want to have a go, you can. And all I'm doing is the yarn that I want on top is going over the top like that, and the yarn that I want on the bottom is going underneath. So I'll just show you that. Get my wheel started. So that, see, that's going on over the top, and then I just change round. Let that feed on, push it up like that, and I'm just changing my hand depending on what I want on the top. Depends on what goes on the top, and all it's doing basically is alternating between the bumps. So that's turning out really well. I'm really liking that. Trying not to do too much. Don't put it on too tight. Let it wind on quite loose so you can push the bumps up, and you get a nice texture in the bump then as well. See, like that, it just looks really good. So I'm just going to carry on with that. I just thought I'd pop the camera back on and show you that. I'll show you the overwrapping thing I've been doing as well, and all you're doing is you're popping the yarn up and down like that, and you're just getting a bit of texture there as well, and it means that you can overwrap it like that, and you just got a bit of texture to your bump. So I'm just going to carry on, and then when I'm finished I'll come back, I'll skein it up and show you the finished yarn. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. I've just add a bit of variety when she's weaving with it. I've still got a load of yarn, so she's going to have a nice big yarn in this. And also, as I'm putting it on, I can see how it's going to turn out when I apply it, which I'm going to do next, because I'm going to use the same thread as what I'm using here. But all this is doing is just stopping the bumps from moving, because you're just putting a bit of thread over to stop the bumps moving. So when she's weaving with it, they won't come apart. So I think that's going to look really good when she puts that into her weaving. And it'll be a nice memory for her mum. Sadly, her mum's no longer with us. She died last year, I think. Yeah, it must have been last year, because that's when they were sorting the house out. I just like the fact that you can choose how long you want the colour in between. Gives you a bit of control over the finished yarn. Because I was finding my feet were just doing all the work and I wasn't really controlling what I was doing. So try not to over twist it if you can. Try to let the yarn go on. Don't keep hold of it. I have a tendency to keep hold of the yarn and forget to put it on. So the looser you are, the better the coil. It's one of the first things I ever done when I learnt to spin 14 years ago. Was, you know, I just don't spend the time at the wheel to keep up with the practice, because with anything you need to practice. It's actually quite meditative, it's quite relaxing. As you can see, that one went on a bit tight, so I'm going to loosen that again. Just unply it if you find it goes on too tight. And that's that. So you can see what I've done so far on my bobbin. I'm just going to carry on, and as I say, I'll come back when I've finished. Right, so the next yarn I want to do is the plaid yarn that I spoke about. Now, I was just clearing my bobbin for spinning this yarn, and I found this, and this is some hand spun that I've done. Now, do you know, I've no idea what I was doing it for, and it looks like it's a mixture of wool and mohair. So what I thought I would do is, it's got different textures and things in it, so that's going to make a really, really nice textured yarn. Let me just see if I can show you some of see all the different textures in it, and it's got different fibres in it as well that I've just shoved together in a bag, I think. Look at this. So I think that's going to make a really nice yarn. So I'm going to apply it with this one again, and I think those colours and that blue is going to look really nice together. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've set up my wheel again. It's all ready to go. Now, to any eagle-eyed viewers out there, I didn't thread my orifice hook properly, and I didn't put it through the threader hooks on the flyer, so I had to snap it and reattach it, but I've done it properly now. So yeah, so I've got my thread on ready, and I'm just going to turn the camera down and I'll show you me applying it. I'm not doing any bumps or anything, I'm just literally going to apply it until I've run out of this colour, and then I'm going to apply it with another colour. I'll just show you. Now, I've also got this, and this was a textured roving I got from Fibre Hut a few years ago, and that's what I've spun with that. And I'm going to use what's on here as well with the blue that's left off this ball, because I think that'll look really nice. I think that'll look really nice with that as well. So she's going to have a good variety of colours. Just need to get it off the bobbin so I can use it, but I might be able to pop it on down there and use the Lazy Kate on the spinning wheel, which you should do actually, because it's off an Ashford. I think I spun it on this wheel, not sure. Could have been the Ashford Joy. So I'm just going to turn you down, get my wheel started, and I'll show you applying this yarn. So we're back, there's the spinning wheel, there's the flyer, the bobbin. As you can see, it's empty. So I've got my leader thread on. I'm just starting it off, and we're literally just going to, I think it's going on a bit fast actually. You see the bits of texture going on there. So it's the next day, and this is the bobbin that I've spun with that first yarn. I really like it. I think it's really cool. I really like all of the do it. I like the bumps, and I like the colour that I applied it with. I think it looks really nice. It looks like a little bit of a galaxy kind of theme on it with stars and the black of the night. So I really like that. I really like the colour variation in the blues. I think it looks really good. So I'm just going to skein it up on my Niddy Noddy. And I found these upstairs, and I thought I would use them to carry on applying the other yarn, because I was using that one, just a sec. I was using this and it just seemed to be getting lost, and it seemed a waste of the yarn, and it's a nice colour and it's a nice hand spun. So I'm going to use that for something else, but just a sec. That was my coffee boiling, sorry. Yeah, I found these and I thought I would try using these instead. This one's off an old jumper, so I thought I would use that. That's off a recycled jumper. And this one is just a commercial weight yarn that I think I got in the charity shop. So I thought I'd combine those two. I've already started using the bobbin, and I'll show you the colours on that when it comes off, because it's on the spinning wheel at the moment. But for now, I just thought that I'd skein off the blue that I did yesterday, and I'll show you me spinning the other two colours onto the next ball. And then I'll move on to the third one. I'll just show you as well, just a sec. So this is my Niddy Noddy. And it's basically just some wood, and you just basically wrap the yarn around the wood and it comes off. Just be careful when you are taking it off that you don't move around the bumps by doing it too tight, because that's what you don't want. You don't want to alter the bumps. And make sure your Niddy Noddy's together tight. You don't want it falling apart while you're doing it. Yeah, that's it. So just be careful, like I say, when you're taking it off, that doesn't come loose. You just tie it off. just to keep the fibres, the yarn separated out. And basically what she can do then is pop it back on the back of a chair and away she goes again. So there is a bit of extra twist in it, but I'm not too bothered about that. I'm sure it'll fall out while it's skeined. I'm not too fussed. There you go. There's the yarn. So that just goes to show what you can do. Put it in close for you. What you can do with some old yarns that you've got lying around in your stash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skein it, just twist it so it's twisting back on itself, then through the loop there, put that through, and then there is your lovely coil spun bobbly yarn. So that's the first one. So I'm just going to set my wheel up, set up the camera, and we'll have a look at doing the next yarn. Do you know it's that cold? I'm thinking of putting the fire back on. I think it's only about 13 degrees today. I've got to pop out to the shop, but I think I'm going to put the fire on. June. It's what, June the 4th, I think, or 5th? What day are we? 4th. And I'm putting the fire back on. Right. So the first colour we're going to do is this one. Now I'm going to take it from the centre and do it as a centre pull. And I'm just going to turn you down and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Right, so this is my bobbin that I did yesterday. And I'm really pleased with the colours. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I started spinning it, but I think it looks really nice in this yarn. So as you can see yesterday, I started adding in the colour off that other bobbin and I really don't like it. I think it looks dull and I think it looks boring. So that's the reasoning for brightening it up, because I think the blue is quite dull and quite dark anyway. You don't really want anything dark with it. So I've got myself set up with my little basket and I've got my yarns in. And what I might do is, because I'm doing a centre pull, I think I'm going to put that over the spike on my wheel like that. And that, in theory, should come out nicely out of there. So, right, so I've got my wheels set up. Turn you around a little bit. There you go. You can see where I put my ball, my centre pull ball. So I'll pull this in. You always have to try and readjust yourself when you come back to your wheel after you've had a bit of a break like I have. That's 24 hours. And I'm going to start off catching it in and wrapping it round. And that's just going to seal in. You don't have to do it this way because I started off on a thick bit. That's what I'm doing. So that's my thick bit. And now I'm ready to start my spinning. So so I forgot to put the camera on and show you when I was starting the next yarn, but this is the other ball and it's got loads of lovely different colours in it. So all I'm doing with that one is I'm just pieing it. I'm not bothering doing bumps with this. I've done bumps most of the way through the yarn. If there's a knot in it, like there has been in a couple of places, I am going over it with a coil, with a bump. But other than that, I'm just plying it any random way that it comes out, really. So I just think that that's the nature of the yarn, because this yarn doesn't push up as readily as it did on the other one did. I'll just show you. It's a little bit, I don't know whether it's because the yarn's not as sticky, but it doesn't work as well. So I'm just plying it, because as you can see, you can't really see the colour difference. There are you. You can't really see the colour difference, and it's getting too tightly spun. So I'm just going for a ply, basically, to let the twist out. So it's nice to be able to see all the different colours going on, like this colour here. Where are you? Changed angle. Changed your angle just a sec. There you go. It's nice to be able to see the colour definition, which I think is why a lot of people steam them, but I haven't got a steamer and I'm not going to go out and buy one, so I just do what I've got. But I think if you can learn not to over twist a yarn when you're spinning it, I think a lot of people spin too tight and then they try to use a steamer to compensate for spinning too tight, and you just, instead of learning a technique and not over spinning it and learning to spin a nice even yarn, which I try to do every time I spin, I try to get an even yarn. Okay, that black one was slightly overdone, but I don't want to put it through the wheel again because I don't want to get the twist. I don't want to undo the coils. I could just put it through the wheel again, some people would, but I prefer to just do what I'm doing this way. Now, if you're using wool, you could felt the end, but I don't think this is wool. Soak it with spit and try to mesh the yarn together. It has done a bit, but that just stops it coming apart. The friction of your hands. There you go, it's pretty much stuck. And then just make sure you've got plenty of twist in the end, basically. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to let that go onto the bobbin. And then I'm going to leave it till tomorrow and take it off tomorrow. So I'll come back again and I'll show you tomorrow the finished yarn. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how my yarns turned out. So I'll just show you it on the bobbin. Really close up and then you can see. But I'm really pleased with how this one's turned out. There you go, look at all that lovely colour. And what I was thinking was, while I've been spinning, I've been thinking about the last one. And what I was thinking was, oh, my hair's gone all sticky outy. What I was thinking was, do you remember all the baubles that I did for Vlogmas that I didn't get round to spinning for Vlogmas? Well, I thought maybe I could take it all out of the, I've still got all the baubles waiting to be spun. So what I thought was, I was going to carry it over for Vlogmas this year, but I want to do another spinning one instead of a weaving one this year. I've been thinking ahead to Vlogmas again, so I am doing Vlogmas again. But I was thinking maybe I could do the last yarn with using the stuff out the baubles from Vlogmas. So that's what I'm going to do, because it's going to use up all that yarn that I put aside. I can find something to go with it. I've got some of this colour, this random colour left. So I could use some of this cut up into different colours and also put some roving with it as well. So I think that will work really well. So I'm going to sort that out today and I'll do that one tomorrow. And then that job's done then. She can have it back. Yeah, that'll be 3, 4. Yeah, she'll have 5 then, which is what I took off her. So I'll be happy with that really. I'm happy with how it's turned out, the blue one. I think that's turned out really well. This one. So what I'll do tomorrow is I'll skein this one off on the niddy noddy, and then that'll be it for this vlog. And then in the next vlog I'll show you the last yarn, because I probably won't have time to edit it and get it up this week. And I want to do some weaving as well, so I'll put that in the next vlog as well for you. So I'm going to go off, have my cup of coffee, because I've got my cup of coffee here, and go and get the puppy up, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Right, so it's a couple of days later, it's Friday now, and I've got the yarns finished that I started this at the beginning of the week. This is the second bobbin with the two different types of yarn. That's my hand spun that I found that I added to it. Then there's the commercial on the top. I've done it all in one skein. I was going to separate it, but I thought it looks so nice all together, to be honest with you. Look at that. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. It's got two different commercial yarns in it, and then my hand spun on the top. Now there are a couple of different textures in it. There's some coils here, and then I've done some textured coil with the mohair that I had, and then there's this bit here which is really nice, and then there's this lovely green, this frog green. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how it's turned out. It's turned out lovely. Some of it's springing back on itself because it is a little bit overspun, but I think over time, while it's stored, it's not really going to make that much difference. So I'm just going to skein it up and let you have a proper look. So, because I always think the things flatten out a little bit when they're done into a skein. So that's what I'm hoping for this. So which way is it twisted? I try to twist it in the opposite direction to what it's twisting back on itself. So let's do that. And then hopefully that will stretch it back out. There you go. A nice bobbin of loveliness. And that's the other one that I did. So this is the coil spun that I did at the beginning of the week, and then this is the one that I finished yesterday. So I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. There you go. I think the girls going to really like what I've done with them. I've got one more to do, and that is going to be the excuse the noise, the chickens are playing up and the dog's playing up. That is the bits, and then I'm going to add it to what was left from the Vlogmas spin, the Vlogmas weaving that I was doing. So I thought that I'd just cut them up into bits, spin it all together, and then either do a coil spun again or just ply it and see how it turns out. So that's my thinking for that. Sorry about my hair, it's a bit windy and it was far too nice to sit in the house. And I wanted to look at the garden, so I put the canopy up on the porch and I'm sat under here. It is quite windy, but at least it's dry. So I think that's it for me for today. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me with all my spinning. I hope it wasn't too long for you, but I was playing about with the new software on my new laptop. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you again next week. If not, I'll see you the week after. But if I do any crafting, I'll switch the camera on and I'll show you what I've been up to. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, I do have a Ko-fi account. Link is in the description bar below. I'll pop some different videos in the I button over here for you. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, I am on Facebook and I am on Instagram as Faithful Ewe. I also have another YouTube channel, if you're interested, called Wildwood Cottage Diary, where I'm doing a wartime challenge cooking wartime recipes out of World War II recipe books. So if you're interested in gardening or cooking or anything like that, make do amend frugal living, then do pop over there. Link is also in the description bar below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channels, and that'll keep you up to date with what's happening here, either at Faithful Ewe or Wildwood Cottage Diary, and it doesn't cost you a penny. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a fabulous week, and I will see you in the next video. So take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.